are certain things that are better kept to yourself. Not because you're secretive, but because protecting your peace is far more important than oversharing to the wrong people. Over time, I've realized that not everything needs to be said out loud. And not every situation requires an audience. Some things are simply meant to be private. I have listed 10 things that I believe shouldn't be shared with anyone. So let's start with the first one, your password. This one should honestly go without saying, but still, never share your password or your passcode. Your personal information is personal for a reason. And even if you think, oh, it's just my Netflix passwords, you still need to understand the consequences of sharing it. Because if you share it to one person, that person can then share it to another person and another person, and more people. So it's just better to just keep that to yourself. As little as it may be, it's best to keep it to yourself. And if someone else has access to something that is important and things go wrong, let's say, you're the one who will be feeling the impact, not them. So yes, keep your passwords to yourself. And if you do end up sharing your passwords, be aware of what you are putting at risk. Second is your finances, like your income, your savings, and your investments. This one can be a bit tricky because I do know that sometimes people do ask innocently, but that innocent question can create comparison, jealousy, competition, and just unnecessary tension. If you earn more, some people might start giving you some little indirect, not very nice comments, sly comments, let's say. And if you earn less, they might judge you. Either way, in those sorts of situations, it doesn't really bring anything positive. Your income, your savings, your earnings are all personal. Keeping your financial situation to yourself protects you from subtle judgment, hidden jealousy, and that sort of backhanded energy that some people unintentionally give off. Money conversations should be between you and the people who genuinely need to know, such as financial advisors, if you have one. Not a friend who may turn it into a silent competition. Next is your long-term goals. Now, I don't think you should never share your goals, but you need to be careful about who you share it with. Your big dreams, your ambitions, your aspirations should be written in your journal or your vision board, or just kept in your heart. Because when you tell the wrong people, they can unconsciously plant seeds of doubt, even if it comes from a good place. Too many opinions can just confuse you and make the journey harder. It is perfectly fine to tell someone, I want to be a doctor, but you don't need to explain every single detail as to how you're going to become a doctor. Sometimes your actions should speak louder than your words. Let the results do the talking. Next is family problems. Family issues should be kept within the family. When you start sharing them with your friends, it opens the door for judgment, misinterpretation, and often too many opinions. And honestly, the more voices you let into your situation, the harder it becomes to resolve anything. Because instead of thinking clearly and thinking for yourself, you start thinking through the lens of what other people have said. And as I said, some things should remain internal, between the people directly involved, unless you're seeking proper guidance from someone who's trained to handle it. Next is relationship issues. This one is very similar to family issues. When you talk too much about your relationship to your friends, they start to form opinions about your partner that may no longer match the reality once things like the issues within the relationship starts to get fixed. One argument can turn into, I don't like him anymore, from your friends, based off what you told them. And once someone forms a negative opinion about your partner, it's very hard for them to unsee it. Of course, if someone asks you how your relationship is going, you don't have to shut them out. But if you do share, remember that it comes with judgment, even from people who love you. Relationship issues are best worked on between the people who are actually in the relationship. Or maybe perhaps with a professional who won't take sides. Next is other people's secrets. If someone trusts you enough to confide in you, that's not something you pass on. Not to your family, and definitely not to your best friend. No. A secret is a secret because someone specifically chose you to hold it. Breaking that trust isn't just disrespectful, it shows that you're unreliable. And if you know you're someone who struggles to keep secrets, be honest about that before someone tells you something deep that should be a secret. The next one is your next move, especially in a workplace environment. Let your next move be a surprise. It's especially important at work because we can easily blur the lines between colleagues and friends. You may feel close to someone at work, but that doesn't automatically make them your friend. I'm sure there's been many cases where someone has told a colleague, someone that they thought that they were really close to at work, about, let's say, quitting their job, or they're thinking about quitting their job, only for that other person to turn around and expose them. So to protect your peace and avoid unnecessary workplace tension, keep your next move private. Let people see the result, not the plan. Next is your inner struggles. This one is also a bit tricky because on one side, opening up about our struggles is good, but opening up to the wrong person can be damaging. Struggles come in different intensities. Some are mild, some are serious. And depending on where you fall on that spectrum, you need to be intentional about who you speak to. If it's something mental health related, for instance, I think it's better to speak to someone who is actually trained, like a therapist. Someone who must keep your information and what you say confidential. Not someone who will gossip about it later or misunderstand what you're going through. Next is talking negatively about someone to someone else. Even if you trust the person you're talking to, it's still very risky. People change, friendships change. And the same person that you confided in can be the same person who will later on expose you. Talking negatively about someone behind their back always has a way of spreading. And once it spreads, it becomes exaggerated, twisted, or even taken out of context, especially if it passes through multiple people. And if you have a problem with someone, speak to them directly. That way the issue stays clean and controlled with no misunderstanding, instead of it becoming a messy rumor that just keeps getting worse and worse. And lastly, saying things to fill the silence. Silence makes people uncomfortable. So they start talking for the sake of talking. And that's usually when they reveal things that they didn't mean to reveal. Awkward silences are not necessarily a bad thing. You don't need to overshare or say something wild just because the room is quiet. Let silence be silence. Let things flow naturally. Sometimes peace is found in the quiet, not in the noise. All in all, not every thought needs an audience. Not every plan needs a witness. Some things are better kept to yourself, not because you're hiding them, but because they flourish more in privacy. Thank you. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.